Hello everybody and welcome back. We are about to continue on where we left off with the new patch of 4.5 part 1. Here we are at the Rising Stones with Alisaie, about to do soul searching. Alisaie is at her wit's end. Okay, so let's see what we can do about that.
I'm glad you've come, though I'm afraid there's little in the way of good news. After you left, we reached out to both the Alchemists Guild and Stillglade Fane and attempted all manner of treatments. But the results were always the same. Whatever the answer is, it's not alchemy or conjuring. Why did it have to be Y'shtola and Urianger and not me? Out of all of us, they are the ones who could feasibly have solved this puzzle. And Alphinaud's still missing. God, it's all going wrong. Where do we even start?
A grave situation indeed. Might I be of some assistance?
Kryl! I thought you busy delving into the mysteries of Eureka.
When word reached me of the plight of our friends, I could not well stay away. As a fellow Scion, not to mention your erstwhile mentor, this is one of those times you should feel free to call on me, regardless of my personal circumstances.
Yes, I should have thought of that. Thank you for coming, Kryl. We would welcome your insight.
And I should be happy to provide it. Now, what's this I hear about Alphinaud heading into Imperial territory? That boy always did have some funny ideas. Do you remember the speech he gave when he was accepted to the Studium?
My life's goal is naught less than the salvation of this star.
That particular grand pronouncement has been a source of great embarrassment to him, as you know. But the fact of the matter is, he meant every word and has lived his life accordingly.
Yes, he remains altruistic to a fault, but I'm worried he was too fixated on his goals to see the dangers, as has happened before.
You needn't be so concerned. Though his values remain the same, Alphinaud is not the blinkered boy he once was. Slowly but surely his eyes have been opened, thanks to a certain someone. A certain someone whom he'd be mortified to learn had heard about his little speech. Mum's the word, eh? Right, I'd better have a look at our patients. They're in the infirmary, I assume. I'll need absolute quiet, so it would be best if I did this alone. If you'll excuse me. All three are in fine physical health. At a glance, I would say they were merely sound asleep. Except for the fact that I couldn't sense the slightest trace of them in their bodies. It's as if their souls have taken leave of their physical forms.
Ah, yes. The Elder Seedseer made a similar observation.
I've read the report. When you heard this mysterious voice, you described feeling as if you were somewhere else, yes? If we assume the ether which comprises your essence is being drawn to some other place, then it may be possible to follow the trail it leaves behind, just as we did in our search for Thancred.
I wasn't around for that, but I can't imagine it was easy.
Oh, it wasn't. But that's no reason not to try. I will have need of Master Matoya's crystal eye if I'm even to make the attempt. So I suggest we pay her a visit.
Aw, that was really such a sweet story there. That alone was so cute. I really do enjoy like this sibling relationship that we have with Alisaie. She's kind of like our little sister now. Like, you can see it in her face. That is just so cute. Okay, so we're heading back to Idleshire. It's been a while since I've been here. And this is also going to be where we will later unlock the new custom delivery client. I had a friend who kind of gave me a slight spoiler. I think he said something about they put it in Idleshire to get people to come back to it. Oh, and there's the new mounts that we're getting. You can get those from the gold saucer. However, it turns out they're going to be worth around 2 million MGP points. Yeah, so I don't have enough for that yet, so I think it might be a little bit longer before I can get the Cactar mount. But that's okay, that's just one reason to visit the gold saucer these days. So here we are in the hinterland. It's been a while since we've been here, in fact. Not sure how I feel about it. I mean, it's kind of nice going back to some of these older places, but at the same time, I am really wanting to get on with the story. Yeah, and there's my free company in the corner complaining about the new 24-man raid dungeon. I heard that it's supposed to be extremely brutal. And we will get to that eventually, but right now the story comes first. At least to me, the story comes first. They should be waiting for us right out here. Yep, here they are. Hey, Cryo. Please do keep Alphinaud's little speech to yourself. He can be awfully sensitive at times. Oh, I know he can be. I'd heard Master Matoya was something of a reclusive, but this seems extreme. Still, I'll happily overlook her eccentricities if she agrees to help us.
Come to disturb my peace again, have you? I hide myself away in a cave, and still you people insist on pestering me with your problems. Oh, I mistook you for young what's-his-name, but I see now you're the sister. Weren't you supposed to be the lively one? I've seen happier faces at a rain-sodden burial.
Well, I'm sorry to dash your expectations, but the situation isn't exactly conducive to gaiety.
Ha! That's more like it. Stoller used to spit and hiss like a wildcat too. Better for a young thing like you to be filled with fire and leave the doom and gloom to your elders. Now, what exactly does this tragic situation of yours have to do with me?
If I may, Master Matoya, we have need of your crystal eye once more.
And Stoller is one of the afflicted, is she? Very well. She may be an ungrateful stray, but she's my ungrateful stray, and I'll not see her buried before I am.
Right. Let us see what we can see. I'll begin from where our friends first fell, and cast my senses out from there.
What is it? Did you find them?
This doesn't make sense. How is it even possible?
How is what possible? Kryl, what did you see?
The threads, they just ended. And no, I didn't lose track of them. I followed them as far as they went. It's as if they were cut off.
Could their ether have dissipated if it had? Oh gods! Their bodies are just husks. It's like the broodmother's daughter all over again.
No, this is different. The Kalyana girl was already dead, body and soul, when Lakshmi effected her resurrection.
Aye, let's not jump to conclusions. If their physical forms yet breathe, and show no signs of wasting, then it follows that their souls must still be intact somewhere.
But where?
That's the question, isn't it, girl? Death has not taken them to the ethereal sea, yet there are no tracks left for us to follow.
We're no closer to an answer than when we started. But knowing their souls are still out there is progress of a sort. We just have to keep looking. Pray, excuse me a moment. Yes? I remember, but... What, to Ala Mhigo? We're on our way. That was Lise. Apparently, a group of Populares have defected to Ala Mhigo, and Maxima, the envoy Alphinaud left with, is one of them. I'm sorry. I realize we've barely begun here, but...
Go, child, go! You've made up your mind, and life's too short for dithering.
I'll do some digging in the meantime and see if there isn't some other method we could use to continue the search.
Let's be off then.
Oh, not again. The enchantment barely seems to take these days. I chalk it up to old age, but I rather doubt it's that simple.
Before they took ill, Y'shtola and Urianger were sharing notes on a thinning of the ether. It seems to be happening all over.
Does it now? And here I was, all set to blame my woes on that creaking mountain of refuse clogging up the Thaliac. I fear something has gone awry. Still, there's naught to be gained from starting in shadows. You can only do what can be done, and that but one thing at a time.
Well, that was a nice long cutscene. I'm loving this. Back outside. Kryl? I'm sorry I couldn't do more. I've never seen a soul's thread end so abruptly before. So that was the woman who tamed Y'shtola. I had the distinct feeling of being grabbed by the scruff of the neck and having the nonsense shaken out of me. When Alphinaud is back, I like to visit again and ask her what tales she has of grandfather. Oh, that would be nice. Hey, a defector's tidings. The news from Ala Mhigo has left Alisaie in a state of nervous excitement. I almost can't bear to hear what Maxima has to tell us. But it can't be bad news, can it? Lise would have said, unless... Oh, there's just no point speculating. Lise said she notified the guards of our coming, so we should head straight to the palace gate in the Ala Mhigan quarter. I'll be praying for good news. Learn what you can about Alphinaud's plight, and leave the search for our friends' lost souls to me. Man, that was interesting. We still don't know what's going on. Here we are in Ala Mhigo, and let's just fly our way there. I have no mood to be walking the streets right now. Where are they? There they are. Alphinaud will be all right. He has to be. Of course he has to be. Greetings, Scions. The commander told me to expect you. Shall I show you in? Yes.
I'm sorry to drag you halfway across the realm, but when Maxima mentioned Alphinaud, I thought you'd want to hear the news in person.
Ah, we meet again. Though I was hoping our reunion would be under more auspicious circumstances.
What happened to my brother? Where is Alphinaud?
Never fear, my lady. Your brother was in fine health when I took my leave of him, and I have no reason to assume that has changed.
You assume?
If you will allow me, I shall endeavor to explain events. Our troubles began not long after we departed Doma. While crossing the burn, we were fired upon by the Emperor's personal guard and forced to make an emergency landing. As we stumbled from the wreckage, our attackers fell upon us again, and we would have perished there and then were it not for the intercession of a third party, a band of mercenaries whose leader claimed to pursue a vendetta against the Scions. This shadow hunter, as he styled himself, then escorted us out of the wastes to relative safety. Upon arriving back in civilization, I gathered my Populares colleagues and prepared to flee the Empire. Master Alphinaud, however, declined the invitation to join us, preferring to continue his investigation into the Ascian threat.
Well, at least he's not lying in a heap in the burn. Tell us more about these Ascian hunters. Who are they? And is Alphinaud still with them?
He is. As to who they are, I'm afraid I have nothing to tell you. Beyond the fact that they root out and destroy Ascians, they were unwilling to divulge anything which might serve to identify them. They would not even reveal their next destination. But Master Alphinaud asked to accompany them all the same. Since parting company with your brother, we've been engaged in a game of cat and mouse with the Emperor's guard. We made our way through province after province, finding the army busy restoring order wherever we went, until we finally arrived here in Ala Mhigo. cannot thank Commander Aldin enough for giving us such an unexpectedly warm welcome.
I'm not inclined to turn away refugees, no matter which land they call home. And if they can tell me how things lie in Garlemald, all the better.
On that subject, there is much I would tell you. During the course of our journey, we heard tales that an entire rebel army had been slaughtered in the space of a single night. It would seem my former comrades grew tired of putting down uprisings in the conventional manner, and chose instead to bring a formidable new weapon to bear. Details were sparse, but the rumor alone was enough to dampen the flames of rebellion. I have also heard reports that several companies have withdrawn from their designated provinces and begun marching westward. It is my assessment that the Empire's forces are mobilizing for a large-scale military engagement.
Westward? You mean they're getting ready to invade Ala Mhigo?
We knew this was coming, but not that it would be so soon.
We've barely even begun to shore up our defenses. They won't stop an invading army.
No, they won't. Dispatch messengers to the Alliance leadership requesting reinforcements, and send word to our officers in the field to hasten completion of those border fortifications. Prepare to meet the Imperials head on! No matter how quickly we act, we still want for time. When the enemy comes into view, our best recourse will be to open negotiations with their commander, and see that the ensuing proceedings take as long as possible.
Would you and Alisaie head to Doma and let Lord Hien know about this? I'm sure he'll want to hear about Alphinaud too.
Consider it done. We'll send word when...
Untold sorrow must be changed. Ahead looms a calamity. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates.
You heard it too. Well, at least we're both still standing.
Oh, thank the gods. I thought we'd lost you for a moment there. Why does this keep happening?
I wish I knew. Nothing we've tried has brought us any closer to an answer. We'll keep working on it. But first, we need to go and see Lord Hien.
Man, it's just one thing after another here. Oh. How are you doing? So, Alphinaud is safe. For the present, at least. Now all we need to worry about is a full-scale Imperial invasion. I'm actually glad Lyse tasked us with visiting Lord Hien. Better to be dashing from place to place and sitting around stewing over things we can't change. To the Enclave. Okay, back to the Doman Enclave. So they know that Alphinaud is safe, so that's one thing. And they are now at least somewhat aware of the Black Rose. Like this poison that we found out about earlier on in the game. So that's progress. But right now we need to focus on a possible invasion. I see you have tidings for Lord Hien. May I show you in? Why did I say a possible invasion? We all know it's going to come. And so the upcoming invasion. Oh! A lot more people here than I thought. Yaxia and a Dalmascan. Wow. Where do we start? Serena? After their humbling at your hands, Magnai and his Orania have spent every waking moment upon the training fields. Defeat does not sit well with the sun and his children. Oh, I'm sure it doesn't. Tansul? The Imperials have enjoyed the freedom of the Ruby Sea for long enough. 'Tis time they paid their dues. Spoken like a pirate. We of the Blue Kojin will not submit to the Empire's tyranny, if only our red brethren would awaken to their folly. Okay. I have come to represent the lands of Yaxia. Long have we struggled in defiance of the Empire, waiting for just such an opportunity as this alliance presents. The fall of Rabanastre was not the end of our nation. We who survived retreated underground and have been gathering strength to mount a counteroffense. Dalmasca will rise again. Good for you! Claire, you have arrived in time to witness the beginnings of our new alliance. Our proposal struck a chord with many of our neighbors, I am pleased to say. Alone, Doma could accomplish little against the Empire, but in concert with allies who have gathered here today, we might do much. Yay, Ian, we got some news to share with you. Greetings, my friends. I was just discussing future endeavors with the members of our newly formed alliance. The Kojin and the Confederacy you already know, and it was your own strength of arms that won us the cooperation of the steppe tribes. We have also been joined by our neighbors from Yaxia and the indomitable citizens of Dalmasca, though the scattered nature of the latter's resistance will somewhat delay their official induction. These proud people have united under a single purpose, to stand against the tyranny of the Garlean Empire. I'm glad to see your alliance is coming together so swiftly. As things stand, I fear we shall soon have need of your strength. I thank you for bringing me news of Alphinaud. His fate is never far from my thoughts, and not only because he is our emissary. As for this sudden deployment of Imperial forces, I agree that Ala Mhigo would be wise to shore up its borders with all haste. Every report we receive from our shinobi indicates a massing of troops in the western provinces. It seems all but certain that the Empire is poised to bring its fist down upon Eorzea. And I would help deflect that blow, but I cannot risk sending reinforcements just yet. We will remain vulnerable to airborne assault until our wall in the burn is in place. The all-important Alagon energy barrier. The energy barrier, yes. I thought to call it something more auspicious, a name drawn from the four lords of legend, perhaps. Sirius Agius. Or some such. Well, just a thought. The Ironworks engineers report that they have finished calibrating the generators and are ready to proceed to the testing stage. Oh, that's good. Have you time to attend the first test? You've seen the field which protected Alisaie firsthand, and I would be interested to hear how you think ours compares. I will come too if you don't mind. Though I am no Y'shtola, I may be able to offer some insight. Of course, time being of the essence, it would be best if we made directly for the burn. Yugiri, I leave you and Hakuro to bring the War Council to a close. Understood. Your mounts are saddled and ready, my lord. Wear the storms. Okay, so that's the end of a Defector's Tidings, but we still have a few more quests to do. And let's take that. That looks good. And I think that's a good place to pause for now. You obviously have some idea of what to expect, having seen the barrier at Alisaie, but having not had that pleasure myself, I'm exceedingly curious to see a wall capable of keeping out one of those massive Imperial airships. As expected, Suino Sato failed to answer the call. Not that I blame the Ruby Princess. Enlightened as she is reputed to be, it could be no easy task persuading her people to relinquish their long-held isolation. Okay, so the next quest is Siriu's Wall, but like I said, we will stop there for right now. And I hope that you all enjoy this. We'll see you again soon.